Three plays in Major League Baseball for you here on Thursday. Got some undervalued favorites, I do believe. Mark Zinno and I at least think that way. We're also going to talk about Game 4 of the NBA Finals here coming up in a little bit. But Mark, why don't you get us started here with today's double play? Phillies. You said to me this morning, why are the Phillies such a short favorite in Boston? Talk to the people what your read on this game is. Can the Phillies bounce back from a rare loss last night?
Third day in a row, I'm going to make myself a glutton for punishment and play a game or put a bet on a game in this series here. As they played the Red Sox plus 1.5 in the opener, that didn't hit. Tried to get a Nerfy in last night, that didn't hit. So let's go back for more. Why? Because why not? Phillies.
Third time's the charm.
That's what I keep thinking. Eventually, if I keep betting the same series over and over again, I'll probably get one right. But nonetheless, Aaron Nola on the mound has been fantastic. 8-2, 2.77 ERA, sub-1 WHIP. And you get Tanner Houck for the Red Sox. Also been very good, just a 6-5 record, but a sub-2 ERA at 1.91 and a sub-1 WHIP. So we get this pitcher's duel. That lines up here. However, Aaron Nola, the beneficiary of much better run support, over 5 runs per game, and the Phillies are 11-2 when he starts. Not the same case for Tanner Houck, who is just 8-5 in his 13 starts. The Red Sox are, and he's only getting 4.8 runs of support per start. So the lineup edge obviously goes to the Philadelphia Phillies. But here's the other part of this, BP, that just, sort of jumps off the screen at me. And you can make the same argument about the Yankees against the Royals today. It's not often, given the way the Phillies have played for the past month and a half, that you're going to get the Phillies at this price.
Mm-hmm.
When Philadelphia has been a minus 130 favorite or less, even to the 3 times this year that they've been a dog. This happened 14 times. 12 of those have been on the road. They're 10-4 straight up overall. And, oh, by the way, guess what? One of the losses was at home. So, that said, when we see the Phillies at this short of a number, you have to play on. It's just too much of an advantage for this good of a team, despite the fact that they get the pitching matchup that they, want with Aaron Nola on the mound, but Tanner Houck on the other side presents some challenges here. I'm just going to trust the Phillies lineup to be better today. It's also going to be a client play for me over at wt.buzz/MZ. So give me the Phillies on the money line here against the Red Sox tonight.
Pitching matchup not nearly as attractive in the game I'm going to talk about. Cubs-Rays. Let's talk about the bad first for the Cubs, shall we? Since April 30th, I believe they have the worst record in the entire National League. They've won just 1 of their last 9 series, and that was a short 2-game set, Mark, against the White Sox of all teams, where, if you recall, they had to rally to win both of those games. However, after coming from behind to win last night, I think the Cubs are going to treat tonight's game with the utmost importance. They want that elusive series win. I think it's pretty interesting. They're a short favorite here tonight. They were a slight dog in each of the first 2 games. Justin Steele on the mound for the Cubbies. He is still winless this season. That's not good because he started 8 times. As a matter of fact, the team is 1-7 in those 8 starts. But lately, Steele has started to turn a corner. He's pitched well. How about a 1.89 ERA his last 3 starts? He's gone 7 innings in 2 of those. He is simply a better starting pitcher than Taj Bradley, who is going for the Rays. And in general, Mark, I've told you this before many times this season. I think the Rays are just a bad baseball team. Their run differential this year is exceedingly poor. It tells you that they should not be even sniffing 500. We don't talk enough about Pythagorean win differential on this show, so give me a second here. No team has a bigger gap between actual and expected wins than Tampa Bay. They've overachieved just to even be sniffing 500. You look at that run differential, it tells you that they're one of the worst teams in the American League, if not all of baseball. So give me the Cubs at a short price. I think Justin Steele's going to pick up his first win of the season tonight, and the Cubs take the series. So it's Cubs for me. Zinno liked the Phillies. Let us know down in the comment section below what you think of those 2 selections, today's double play. Give us a like if you agree with them. Comment down below with your favorite plays for Major League Baseball on Thursday. And don't forget, guys, by the way, that's 7 days for $77 special currently going on at WagerTalk, where you can get all of my plays for the next 7 days, all of Mark's plays for the next 7 days for just $77. That's $77 a piece per handicapper. The Euro Cup coming up. Game 4 of the NBA Finals is tomorrow. It could be the last game of the NBA season. We'll touch on that in just a little bit. But it is best bet time, Mark, on the show. It's Patrick Corbin Day and that means there is only one thing to do when get to the Washington Nationals, and that is fade them. And we're going to take the Tigers to avoid the sweep.
Yeah, look, as much as the Tigers' offense is about as worthwhile backing as, any bad offense in Major League Baseball, I'll save my snide jokes and things about that have gone wrong in my life.
I was wondering where that was going.
Oh, God. Speaking of not scoring, there goes my social life. But anyway, so I don't like to back the Tigers' offense because it's not that good. It is Patrick Corbin, and he's been prone to give up, a lot of runs to the tune of a 6.15 ERA. You look at his numbers, on the road versus home, it doesn't matter. They're both over 6. By the way, if you're really into the day-night splits, because this is a day game, his ERA 7.55 during the day compared to 5.09 at night. And opposing hitters are batting 341 against him during the day. So he's made 6 day starts this year, coincidentally, which seems like a high number at this point in time. Nonetheless, so all the things are there to fade against Patrick Corbin. But here's the other part of this where I think will be advantage Detroit. The Nationals, technically, if you look at bullpen ERA, have a slightly better bullpen than the Tigers do from a bullpen ERA standpoint. When we look at the usage in this series, it heavily favors Detroit. Now, the Nationals have used 4 relievers in each of the last 2 games. 3 of those relievers have been used in back-to-back days. So that's going to eliminate those guys from getting up and getting warm in the bullpen. And their bullpen is a little bit taxed right now. Conversely, for the Tigers, they used 4 on Tuesday and just 3 yesterday. But none of those 7 relievers pitched in back-to-back days. So everybody should be fresh. They'll have all their high leverage arms that they need in this spot here. Tigers trying to avoid being swept. Favorable spot for us here. We'll fade Patrick Corbin, take the Tigers.
Yep. Nationals, they maybe have won 5 in a row. They have won 5 in a row, in fact, but they are, of course, 0-5. Corbin's last 5 starts. So the Detroit Tigers is your show best bet. I recommend jumping on that as soon as possible. Not only is it an early game, but the line is already moving. Let us know what you think down in the comments section below. Again, your favorite best bet, just drop it in the comments section. And don't forget to subscribe here to the WagerTalk YouTube channel. That way you don't miss any of our exclusive sports betting content. I'll have a preview of NBA Finals Game 4 up on the YouTube page tomorrow, Mark. But we want to talk about the game. We're Game 3 still on our mind. The Celtics. Now up 3-0. They are poised for a sweep. We may see the last game of the NBA season tomorrow night. Is it going to be the last game of the season in your estimation after what we saw last night?
Yeah. I mean, I told you yesterday I liked Boston to win. Got over their team total by the skin of my what, which
had it
was
the whole way.
Never a doubt, right? Sure. Yeah, never a doubt. With 91 points and 11 minutes left, that they only decided to score 2 points over the next 8 minutes to make me break things and throw things that I don't actually own. So, even when you win money, you lose money. So there's my life right now. All that said, yeah, this series is over. And again, I said it after Game 1, BP, right? Like we said it right here on the Morning Wager. I was very upset at myself for buying into the hype of Dallas and buying into this whole watching them take out Minnesota and how good Luka played, that it was going to be enough. And I just forgot how good Boston really is. I was reminded after Game 1. I was reminded after Game 2. And I had no doubt about it in Game 3. Dallas is not winning a game here. I will say this much, though. We may have hit the bottom, and because it may be the last game, of the total market here. Odds makers have finally come down to 211.5, which is interesting because now there's a part of me that wants to sniff the over a little bit. Again, the problem is and here, I don't credit Dallas's defense more than anything about Boston just going through a massive scoring drought last night. But Dallas has had scoring droughts of their own. Like you can't go up 25-12 and then get outscored 18-6 the rest of the way of the first quarter.
Yeah.
You just can't do it. Like the scoring droughts for Dallas have been epic. And it is part of the reason why it's hard to play an over because she knows. Fedora. She knows. But it's hard to play an over just because nobody keeps scoring for any considerable amount of time. But obviously this is going to be the lowest total. If we get past this game, I've sort of flip-flopped. I said all series long that the under favors Dallas. Well, At this point now, the over has to favor Dallas because Dallas has to score. They can't get to 100. They literally can't score 100 points. So if Dallas scores 100 points, guess what? This thing might go over because Boston is going to have to keep scoring at a higher rate. So that's what interests me a little bit more. But I'll take Boston money line and be very happy with it.
Yeah. I tweeted or I texted something to you. It was a tweet that I texted to you right before the game yesterday that the Mavericks went from a 7-point underdog in game 2 to a 3-point favorite in game 3. That 10-point change in the spread was the largest for any NBA Finals game since 2014.
Yeah,
so if you go back on Monday, we talked about that, how that line was not at all reflective of power ratings or the odds makers' true view of the two teams. It was they were worried. Yes, they were trying to prevent themselves from Dallas liability. It obviously probably worked out pretty well.
Right.
Yes. I had Boston full game. Okay, so that was nice. I had Dallas minus 1.5 in the first half, which was really pleasant. Yeah, that was really pleasant. You knew Washington was going to split the pair of free throws. You absolutely knew it. But I'll take the +1 unit. Tomorrow, by the way, is...
I thought Jason Tatum was going to split his free throws to get to 106 at 104 when the first one hit the front of the rim. And really, I think my testicles fell out. Like, I just... Okay, that's how bad it was.
That hopefully our graphics department has nothing that can to follow up on that. But at least
follow the bouncing balls.
Thank you. At least we got Jason Tatum. Anyway, I finished plus a unit yesterday. 97, 67, and 2 NBA run. Tomorrow's $5 customer appreciation day, Mark. So I'll have a $5. My play for game 4 is going to be just $5 in addition to that free video I've got on the game as well. I just want to point out the last issue with Dallas. And we've talked about this, I think, after every single game. 3-point shooting. It's just their attempts keep going.
Yeah, and they're not going to win if they can't make threes. It's that simple. Like we discussed this after game 1. Jason Kidd discussed it. They need to shoot more threes. They need to take more threes in the hopes that they'll make more threes. And none of that has been happening in this series for Dallas. I kept saying I thought that Boston's defense was underrated, that we weren't giving them enough credit for how good they were. They have been fantastic on both ends of the floor, and we keep sort of putting all the attention on Luka and the fouls, keep putting all the attention on the wrong things in this series, when the bottom line here is that simply Boston's defense is stifling. And when you look at it, there is no reason to believe that in game 4, that's going to be any different. And the results are going to be any different. So, I can't get behind much with Dallas here. Unless they just have this game where they start making shots at a higher rate and they start making threes at a higher rate, then it's really hard to back them. BP, do we have you back? There you.
Yes, I am back. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, the screen went blank, and I was talking about 3-point attempts, and no one was there to listen to me. But
I was there to pick up where you left off. I just want you to know that. When you stumble and fall, I'm the one who catches you.
Thank you. No man left behind. That's the way you were brought up, and eventually I'll catch on too. Look, I mean, the Mavericks, I said after game 1 that their number of 3-point attempts were way too low. Guess what? They keep going down. They've gone from 26 to 20, 27 to 26 to 25 in the 3 games. Boston, meanwhile, they had 46. They're just out. Like, if Boston is attempting 21 more threes than Dallas, they are going to make more, and Dallas is dead. I don't know if Boston is just doing that good of a job at running them off the 3-point line and not getting looks, or what's going on. But it is just not enough 3-point attempts for Dallas. I've seen Kyrie had a great game in game 3. That still wasn't enough. I just don't see the path for Dallas. We talked about the line.
There are 2 things I said yesterday, right? That if Boston makes 14 threes, there's no way they're losing the game. They made 17. And unless Dallas can make 11 in that range, which 99 plus 6 gets me to 105 or 106. Yeah, okay. So, the numbers, you just follow the numbers here, folks. You don't have to try to overthink this or get cute with it. Just play the numbers, and they should bear out the results at this point.
We'll be back Friday. He's Mark Zinno. I'm Bryan Power. Until next time, let's cash some tickets.